So for today's video, we are continuing with the Conscription games. I know, this will be the last one of the bunch, but I hadn't played Conscription on this channel in a bit. Obviously, I'd featured Veteran Conscription a long time ago. Yesterday was Tribunal. It did not go well. We're going to go ahead and dive into some games with Telvanni today. See if it goes any better. Now, I do think Telvanni is the best of the Conscription decks because it offers, honestly, the best cycle / card draw. Also, it's got better survivability. I know that seems really weird because Tribunal, you're going to have access to hard removal with edicts and javelins and cast into time, but Blackhand Messenger is one hell of a stall card, and it can get a lot of work done. Wow. Do I win for just getting all of the late game cards to show up? Yeah, we don't want to keep any of those. So anyway, Telvanni is very, very strong because of its ability to stall the game and dig very deep. Getting my old deck tracking going here. We're playing against Archer. We're going second. Yeah, so we're going to see if this goes any better. I do maintain a decent win rate. It's like 65 to 70% with this, which is respectable. But I just have better win rates with other decks. The last couple seasons, it has been pretty effectively, pretty efficiently mid-Daggett. Just over and over again. So, good win rate against Telvanni. Maybe I'll do some more games on mid-Daggett in the near future. It has been a while.
You will die where you
So this is very clearly Factotum Archer. We can fill that out on my old deck tracking now. Before I take the next action. Factotum. And now we have a decision to make. Let's go like this. Just because that saturates the best. This one's a little more passive. But getting Sanitizer and Sentry early are both very good for my opponent. Specifically this. This is like the key card when you're playing Factotum Archer.
I will cut your purse and your throat.
Let's go ahead and lock that down. I have to debate here if it's worth it to use a charge.
If I fall, the
ring charges are pretty important, but honestly the last one to jump up to playing to your own conscription is the most important. You can be a little greedy with your first couple. Galen we're holding on to because we're trying to find something like a Necromancer to hit. Like, that's your ideal play, I think, with this deck. Shadowfen we're trying to hold on because most of your Factotum Archer decks run like Namir's Shrine. Other potential good Galen targets would be something like Lan F. Or maybe Red Brahmin. Maybe Sun and Shadow. This is not great for a number of reasons. I mean, using a bolt here doesn't feel amazing. This is premature. We'd like to get the card draw. I think we end up just passing here. Our opponent did the proper thing with their first assembled sentry by buffing the health, for the record. Unless you are playing against aggro, you don't want to take the guard early, you want to take the health, specifically against decks that run Ice Storm. So now we get to see what they're gonna play. Alright, so that is also not great for us. That is an assembled Titan on curve. So they had the Sanitizer on curve and the Titan on curve. They're making decisions. If I was that player, I would consider the health. And then, I was going to say, maybe additional health on the creatures. They chose the health and attack power, which I find interesting. More health means even more resilient to things like Ice Storm. So I'm a little surprised by that.
Sign me up. My scales move in shadow.
See if we can set up an Ice Storm clear here. Likely not, but we can try.
I'm ready for anything. Praise to Namira, whose sphere is the day is mine.
Alright, well there's the shrine that we knew was coming. I'd really like to blow this up. However, we have some other problems to attend to first. I'd like to get this down so that we can start gaining some health. But if we do that, what are we playing in conjunction with it? I mean, Ice Storm clears some of his board, gets some damage on his creatures that I could maybe use to clean up next turn. Because Hist Mage will get chewed through just by a little lethal guy. I think it's sadly going to have to be that Ice Storm. We are still not in a great spot after that, though. But it at least gives us a little bit to work with. Getting the Titan on curve was incredibly problematic.
Praise to Namira, whose sphere is the ancient darkness.
That's probably game. That is an amazing draw for a Factotum Archer against another control deck. Like, just outstanding. As much as I would like to just boot those, it's not looking like that's going to be a thing right now.
You must be cleansed.
We kind of have to play defense and not take damage, even though there's a good chance we still lose this regardless. Which will just kind of echo what I was saying, which is I just don't do well when I play conscription decks. I mean, you could argue that part of this is bad luck, sure. They had all of the key pieces on curve that you would want for this deck, including the unique legend. Followed up by a double shrine very early. They're not even halfway through their deck yet, and they've hit double shrine and everything else they would want. But I mean, we're still getting pummeled here. Like, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, we could play whatever we want, and it's not helping right now.
I will keep Sotha Sil's
I'm not a
people
big fan of
alive.
this, but suppose we do that. I guess I could have also drawn
no
first.
Move we can't anticipate.
Not that it matters. Couldn't have played that either way.
If I fall,
So yeah, we do that. Even with the conscription this next turn, we won't get enough resources off of it.
Care to make a friendly wager?
Double shrine is a legit problem. We really needed a second ice storm.
you will die where you stand.
Is the real reality? Oh, they're
I
gonna.
only need one
Yeah.
shot.
All right. I don't even know what's taking so long there.
I have you now.
Rapid shot, so they draw a billion cards again. Yeah, this is still pretty straightforward a loss. Even if we draw a ice storm, I think. And we did not.
Repel the Outlanders. So predictable.
So, I mean, I guess we'll do this as a Hail Mary and hope.
If I fall,
I mean, we'll get a shackle.
Smell the
Got a couple of guards on that side. So, might have caught a break
come
here.
here alone.
So, this gives us a shackle here, and we have 2 guards on this side now. Still lots of ways that our opponent can potentially find lethal here, but maybe buys us time. Might be able to ride double amulet out of this. It's not looking good though. Those double shrines are a problem, and they keep generating enough cards that like you never have time to blow one of them up. You gotta use all your tools defensively, so we shall see.
I only need one shot.
Ooh, that's a fantastic play for our opponent. It's also
They missed their shot.
surprising.
I'm ready for anything.
That's why. We're trying to protect this a little bit more. Okay, so we're gonna start with this. Negation will take care of this on its own. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a Fire Bloom. That seems pretty good. Let's go ahead and make a trade. Let's go ahead. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's go ahead and get that negation in where we want it to be.
Must I do everything myself?
Get this going here, and then I guess we will take the 50-50 and draw some cards. Not bad, not bad. I really feel like getting rid of one of these at this point is beneficial.
Chaos take you.
For the Black Hand.
At some point we're gonna actually have to like pressure him for lethal too. But I think this is a worthy
must be cleansed.
Worthy use of our last ring charge. Gotta try to slow him down. Still has one more shrine in the deck, but so they play their own conscription.
The Black Hand sees
which
all.
is
Sign me up.
rightfully massive. And we haven't found a Black Hand Messenger to abuse with our Necromancer, nor have we found a Viper, but we do have Sanctuary Pet.
Waiting. They missed their shot.
We are certainly going to need some shackles to work in our favor here. Hey! Speak of the devil.
To oblivion with you.
Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of the other one as well. Seems like a good Viper. Let's take our value trade. Kind of want to blow this up just to draw the card, but we're gonna likely just play our Harpy anyway. So
For the Black Hand.
It's a 50-50 shot of getting rid of 3 damage on the board if I Fire Bloom now. And that doesn't feel great.
You will die where you stand.
It really doesn't feel great. So maybe we don't play the Fire Bloom. Maybe it's just Harpy. Three, 6, 7, 8. So the other option that we have is we do have Mastermind, which lets us dig. Which actually isn't half terrible. I always have the Harpy for backup. Unless he has Tazcad, we're not in danger of dying, but even if he has Tazcad, I think he wins. I guess if we shackle one of these, he's only got 11. So we lose to Tazcad.
No move we can't anticipate.
I think I'm still just going to take the risk and say we lose to Tazcad. It's got to be getting pretty close to Journey territory. He's down to 17 cards. We're just approaching halfway through. And ideally, yeah, there it is. I was going to say, if we find a Journey,
For the Black Hand.
we would want to have a conscription in hand before we played our Journey.
Vengeance.
Realistically.
I will cut your purse.
Meet your doom.
Care to make a friendly
So there's a Gambler. They're going to have at least one more card here because they want to trigger this. No! Okay. Okay, well. We'll take our other Fire Bloom.
By my honor.
We'll take a card here. That's not bad for the
Your death will be
wanting to
swift.
draw.
You will die where you
Well, they will get a card there. Not much I can do about that.
So predictable.
Must I do everything myself?
We'll use one here. Because we don't want them to draw even more shenanigans.
They won't even see my blade coming.
I'll scout ahead.
I think that's keepable. And we're gonna go with a Hist Mage and a Barrow Stalker.
I smell the stench of the living.
Don't want to break a rune because they did play Journey, so the key here is we've got to try to pressure him now before they win with Journeyed creatures. I say as he plays another Conscription.
I lurk in the shadows. I'm ready for anything.
Wait, I bark and burn. If I fall, this is interesting. Reclaim me.
Killing me. All hits, but the one that's already amazing on its own. Alright, so this can nuke that.
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
This
my servant
can fetch us a Viper. Clear this.
Behold my power. Scaleless coward.
We know.
And now we just kind of punch him a
You
bit.
cannot hide.
We try to slow him down a little bit. And hope that in that fistful of cards, they don't have a million answers. Because we've only seen one Archer's Gambit. Yeah. And this will get guard, which will make all of the other ones in his hand get guard.
I'm ready for anything.
Yeah. Alright, we've played 2 negations, both Shadowfen, so really... Well, I was going to say a top deck negation might get us there, but even a top deck negation isn't enough to go through that. What a disgusting opener.
I do not fear death.
What a disgusting opener by our opponent.
Meet your doom.
Also, I would like to just kind of point out that we are more than halfway through our own deck and we've only seen 1 Conscription and no Journey. You get no respect. No respect. Like, trying to think if there's any scenario here where I can ever push through this, right? Like...
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
Behold my
I suppose we just have to eat it. But again, we're gonna drop some stuff down and they're just gonna play more guards because they hit another sentry. We need like 3 more cards to survive, and we're not gonna get them because we're out of runes to draw. And those 3 cards would be Conscription, Journey, Conscription. I mean, they're down to 17 cards in their deck, so... I guess in theory, is if we just survive long enough, maybe we could grind them. Because they have already journeyed. Like, if we can survive the second coming... they would just run out of resources. But we also don't have enough, like, board sweeps. Because we've already... like, we would need 2 ice storms, and even that wouldn't sweep this board.
I'll scout ahead.
If I nuke that and that, he still has 6, 12. He still has lethal, so keeping that does nothing. That still does nothing. So there you go. That is a loss. Alright. Lethal on curve, Titan on curve, double shrine. We're a conscription oriented deck that played 1 conscription and our opponent played 2 conscriptions in Journey. I don't know what it is. But when I play conscription decks, they do not perform well. We'll try it again. I hope my pain is your enjoyment. Maybe you secretly love conscription decks just getting pounded. That's okay if you do. I know that the decks get a lot of hate. They just don't really bother me because whenever I pilot them, they don't do well, and whenever I play against them, that stuff happens. And I don't mean that as in, like, the other conscription deck just has a much better draw. I mean, like, when I'm playing Daggeth or similar decks, I just don't struggle a lot. More often than not, I end up losing to other parts of the Telvanni package. As I was saying before, Blackhand Messenger is a fantastic card for stalling. If this ends up being like a mid or an aggressive Daggeth, we will win this because of being able to abuse Blackhand Messenger far more than we would anything else. Like, a lot of the times, you could have had, like, any finishers in the Telvanni package, in my experience, and against aggressive or mid-range decks, the conscription just doesn't even matter.
I bark and birth. This is interesting.
Sure. Let's draw.
Leave no move we can't anticipate.
Let's draw.
Feel the night mother.
Not exactly a shocker there.
They won't even see my blade coming.
Alright. Not gonna lie, that's a bit of a shocker. Must be nice to have that kind of luck.
Nice try.
He's just gonna eat this here, but we're trying to stall. What's funny is when I see Ungolem, I usually think it's gonna be Control Daggeth.
You will die where you
And we haven't really seen anything to contradict that yet. Like this could very, yeah, this is looking an awful lot like a Control Daggeth, which is kind of funny to me, I'm not gonna lie.
World.
Hope you guys like fire blooms that are cruel.
Night Mother will guide us.
Alright, guess we'll do that. Pulls off some damage from the board, gains us some health. Stalls a little bit.
They're in my sights.
Time to make more enemies.
Alright.
What have we here?
I mean, there is a part of me that wants to take the 50-50 here. And then just mummify that if it misses. But if I'm gonna mummify that anyway, it's kind of not worth it, you know? And the Skulk will only find me one more Fire Bloom. Wow, it must be nice to play Ungulum and have 2 Assassins by 6 Magicka there.
They're in my sights.
That is a high skill play right there. I mean, I guess it's not Assembled Titan on turn 6 like last game, but nonetheless, that is a high skill play. Yeah, let's go ahead and just Viper. Let's put this over here. Call that good for now. If he has a way to silence this, this is gonna hurt, but...
Meet your doom.
Not much I can really do about that. An Ice Storm would be nice. Because if he Earthbones this, then the Ice Storm would be a clear. Ooh, it's just a big boy. Okay.
The Night Mother will guide us.
Well, why wouldn't you
Come here alone.
shoot the 2-1 there? Would have been okay with getting rid of this. Just because it would have forced the trade anyway. Would have been okay with getting rid of that.
Scaleless coward.
Well, there's all our Fire Blooms just kind of naturally.
Nice try. Care to go again?
I
Fine.
stand ready.
Need to cycle anyway. We're 2 runes down and he still has more cards than us. He's just winning, winning the resource
Face
battle.
me, you dog.
Alright. There's a card you don't see every day.
I will return.
I need a way to clear this off so that my Fire Bloom guaranteed hits that.
By my
Or I guess
honor.
this. What I'm really thinking.
You'll not be rid of me that easily.
Because this can pull me a Viper.
My servant.
Though I suppose if I just get a messenger and shoot that, then I'm guaranteed to hit at least one of these. And then I can put a Tree Miner in front of the other one.
The Black Hand sees all.
I do have to give him a card for this, but I think it's still worth it.
His shall heal you.
almost a third of the way through our deck. No conscriptions yet again. They just don't exist. I suppose I could be running one of the versions that runs Camel. Though, in a couple of these games, I'm not sure where Camel would have been an acceptable play. I think that's my problem with Camel in the conscription decks. I have a hard time finding a time when it's safe to play. Alright, that is painful. Let's see what this draws us. Draws us another bolt.
Have another.
Behold my power.
Alright, I guess we'll do that. But they still have a lot more cards than us and a lot more runes than us.
Let's go then. My time is precious.
And that trend continues.
By the
Even if
fires
we
of
were to
oblivion.
find a conscription right now, it would easily be answered by an ice storm, and I have to assume that that's what this person is running right now.
I smell the stench of the living.
Let's dance. I will return.
Like, everything we're doing is just 2-for-1s and
These
3-for-1s
streets are mine.
in our opponent's favor. Chora's Breeding Pit. Like, I can't even be mad. I'm just impressed. Wonder if that's, like, just anti-conscription tech or something. Like, I don't know why you would run that. I mean, it does hit both lanes with -1/-1. Put bodies on the board.
I smell the stench of the living.
I mean, I guess we do that, and then we're just out of cards, and then we lose. And such is life. I mean, no ice storms meant we didn't have any board clears, no conscription when we're...
These streets are mine.
Next turn will be exactly 1/3 of the way through our deck.
Watch yourself now.
And again, like, even if we draw a conscription, I don't think it's gonna be enough.
I sense great power.
I guess we're oh yeah, we're definitely not gonna have enough. Because at a worst, like, or at a minimum, I mean, that's gonna go find Odavang, which would wipe any conscription top deck we'd have. But Unstoppable Rage would be pretty good too, to just clean us up. To win this, we would essentially need, like, conscription, conscription, journey, conscription to be, like, all of our next draws. Actually, this should have went over there and contested. I've already got all my fire blooms. Because I was just drawing them naturally, because why wouldn't I?
I am a mirror. Nothing more. I have almost achieved perfection.
I've noticed a flaw in your plan.
I will have your head.
Alright. Sotha still seems pretty good. That's the word on the street.
Feel the power.
And that's going to be game. So there you have it. That's going to be 2 straight days of me playing conscription decks and me going 0-4 across those games. So
Your blood will spill.
I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
Seems I must delay my work for a time.
Because that's just what happens when I play them. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it works that way. I know other people are successful with them. I'm just not. I'm not impressed with the card, and I'm not impressed with the archetypes, because you routinely run into issues with your 2-drops not generating you enough value. I mean, I could run other 2-drops, and I've tried all the different combinations. You know, I've run Murkwater Witches and blah, blah, blah. You know, I've run versions with camels, without, etc., etc. Doesn't really matter what I throw in. the good decks and the good players kind of understand that you hit a point where turns like 4 through 8 are like the clutch turns for playing against Conscription. Because if you can mount any sort of offense against them and you make your creatures be ones of high value where the Conscription player is still playing their little 2-drops, you just outvalue them and you put them too far behind. I mean, maybe that game was winnable. Maybe if I draw Conscription on curve or I play 2 or 3 in a row like you're supposed to, maybe I win. I don't know. But you can't win if you don't draw Conscription either, so... yeah. There's my thoughts, I guess. My words of wisdom. Tomorrow's going to be Tribunal with some Altar of Despairs and Genius Path Mages, so that ought to be fun. And I will see you guys next time.